Reflected in a brand new poll, a solid majority, 55% approving of President Trump's performance on border security, and the press secretary Caroline Leavitt in an early morning press conference, one that we have really not seen in some time, if ever. She's saying that Trump lived up to his word from the campaign.
President Trump's central campaign promises was to secure the border and end this invasion. In just under 100 days, 99 now to be exact, the president has overwhelmingly delivered on that promise. America's borders are now secure because of President Trump. He has restored the rule of law, enforced our immigration laws, and defended America's sovereignty. The results have been nothing short of extraordinary.
They are going to fly this flag. Peter Doocy live at the White House, beginning a new hour, and how the administration is highlighting the crackdown. And Peter, good morning there.
Good morning, Bill. This week of the 100th day is all about sending messages. That is what the 100 ICE arrest mugshots behind us on the North Lawn are all about. And that is what the arrest of a Milwaukee County judge is all about. It's a message to others in the judicial system about what could happen if they try to help illegal immigrants skirt enforcement.
Would you ever arrest somebody higher up on the judicial food chain, like a federal judge or even a Supreme Court justice?
Well, that's a hypothetical question. Again, I defer you to the Department of Justice for individuals that they are looking at or individual cases. Anyone who is breaking the law or obstructing federal law enforcement officials from doing their jobs is putting themselves at risk of being prosecuted, absolutely.
We've also got a new update on the daring theft of DHS Secretary Kristi Noem's purse at a D.C. restaurant containing $3,000 and personal effects by a man believed to be in the country illegally.
I don't have the criminal history, but I know the one that stole the purse is supposedly in the country illegally. But, you know, pick the wrong person to steal a purse from.
Tom Homan also said that we have been talking for years about illegal immigrants in this country being somewhere in the neighborhood of 12 million. He thinks the number now is more like 20 million, with 700,000 or so having criminal histories. Bill.
Okay, Peter, thank you. Lead a new hour there on the North Lawn. Peter Doocy, thanks for that. Beautiful day in D.C.
Indeed. Let's bring in Outnumbered co-host and Fox News contributor Kayleigh McEnany. So good to have you. So it's not just Republicans that are supportive of the president's actions. Here's Congressman Cuellar. He's a Democrat from Texas.
People were saying our parents came in the legal way. They came in, became legal residents, and they came in and did it the right way. But when you see people jumping in, not knowing who they are, that's something wrong.
So that was from his town hall. That's what he saw. And we'll just ask the control room to put up on the board here the numbers and the comparison from Biden to Trump. And as you reflect on that first 99 days, just the stark contrast.
This was a rather interesting number, and Caroline shared this today. Bill Maloogian had obtained it a few weeks ago as well. And I know President Trump's like, who are the 9 people who were released during my tenure, because he's a perfectionist. This is their top issue, and they know it. When you look at any poll, the Washington Post poll just out, 52% say their deportation has been just right or not enough. We also, the CNN poll from 2 weeks ago, that 56% of the country wants all illegal immigrants deported. That is an enormous number. And that's not some. They're saying all. So this is a top issue for them. They know it. They're touting it. It is very smart to do so. And Henry Cuellar getting on board, it's unsurprising. He's one of the more moderate Democrats who said, hey, I want to get on the winning train on this issue.
Border District, too.
Yes. Yeah,
kind of been on the right side of that, the Republican side of the issue for some time. The resistance is not quite a capital R yet, but people like J.B. Pritzker out of Illinois are trying to make it so. He was in New Hampshire, focus on New Hampshire now, and said the following.
Already?
Yeah, on Sunday, sure enough.
Never before in my life have I called for mass protests, for mobilization, for disruption. But I am now. These Republicans cannot know a moment of peace. They have to understand that we will fight their cruelty with every megaphone and microphone that we have. We must castigate them on the soapbox and then punish them at the ballot box.
Okay, to which Elon Musk responded on X with one word. He said, crazy. That from Musk. What do you think, Kayleigh?
So Pritzker went on to say, listen to these lines. He says that one day the portraits of Republicans will be in a museum reserved for tyrants and traitors. He went on to say we'll never join Republicans in the special place in hell reserved for quislings and cowards. So tepid rhetoric, right? Not at all. he is positioning himself in the lane to cater to the far left. The most eye-opening poll I've seen, I'm sure he's looking at this. There was an NBC poll from April 2017, so 1 year into Trump's first term. 33% of Democrats said, we do not want you to work with Trump, even if that means not getting things done. That number, 1 year into Trump's term now, is 65% who say, we don't want you working with Trump. That's the NBC poll, even if it means not getting things done. So the resistance in the left of the party is enormous. It's powerful. It's passionate. It's animating people like Pritzker, perhaps too much with those.
So last week we were showing the poll numbers that said that Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, she was sort of on the rise for that left-wing part, but would she have, I mean, this is all so hypothetical, but would she have competition from a Pritzker?
I don't know about a Pritzker. I mean, he doesn't quite have the name ID.
She's got personality.
But hey, you get these, hot and powerful lines on the debate stage. They can make a difference. But I put Pritzker in kind of the same category as like a Chris Christie on the right. Chris Christie's very good on his feet, sharp arguer. He has the lines, but it just didn't quite translate.
I think his language is kind of alarming. I mean, a lot of people consider him to be a low-key kind of...
Oh, no, I don't know. That guy's...
For a low-key billionaire out of Chicago, right? He said, never before in my life have I called for mass protests, for mobilization, for disruption, but I am now. These Republicans cannot know a moment of peace.
Yeah. No,
is that what we're in for?
I was in rural Illinois this weekend, so the redder part of the state, they know their governor. They know he's hot. They know he's prone to this kind of rhetoric, but that is what we're in for. I mean, I think you're looking at a Democratic primary. That kind of language is going to be what you see on the debate stage.
All right.
Maybe not from a Newsom or Whitmer, but definitely from a president.
But we have a few years to get to.
We do.
Kayleigh, thanks. Have a great day. It's good to see you.
See you at noon.
Thanks.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.